Dialed up, dialed up, dialed up. How good? Hey, Comstock.
What's up, baby?
It's another Tuesday.
Yep.
We're down here in a basement. That's some magic happened on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some magic.
We're in the war room.
We're like, if the viewers could look around and see what this room looked like, it looks like a shitstorm came through, but the shitstorm shit out a draft pick for our boy.
Oh, yeah.
A UDFA signing
Yes,
to
sir.
the home of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chop wood, carry water.
Going crazy for the boys. Obviously, we've seen that. I mean, I've seen that man grow up for the last, 12 years.
Oh, yeah.
And he was there when we played. I was there when he played, and now we get to kind of watch him kind of sail off into his NFL journey and go watch that boy grind.
When I first met him, he was a high schooler.
Right?
And then I lived 2 years with him.
Yes.
Played 3 seasons. It was unreal.
We were laughing because, I felt like I was in my college career getting down, and, sometimes I'd look over across the party in my own house and be like, hey, what's Mac doing here?
Yeah.
Same thing with their youngest brother, Joe. And I was like,
Yeah.
so I feel like I've been a part of his journey, and obviously being able to kind of be close with this family and be around this family excites me. The Delanas are just great people, and I couldn't be more happy for them to be able to send one of their sons to the NFL and watch him go to work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a sweet buzz in this place.
Dude, I'm sure. You know, the buzz had to be, the buzz is always there. It's literally Mr. Bring the Juice. Okay.
Yeah.
They know how to put on a show. They know how to have a good time. But I couldn't be there, but I was so jealous to be able to be around the excitement of watching, one of us
Brothers.
get his opportunity, and what a better place to go.
In a place where I feel like consistently won with, whatever they have at just to say the least.
They do have Patrick Mahomes,
but they develop
Yes.
they develop their guys, and
Yes.
that's what I'm excited for. They don't even I'm looking over here right now. They have it up on this board. There really isn't a crazy guy that they've paid a ton of money to. It's open.
I mean, Xavier Worthy is the most latest draft pick that they got from the draft last year. Obviously, Fresno native as well, so kind of cool to see a little bit of a Fresno connection there. But I did see something on Twitter or X the other day about 4 of their wide receivers on their roster are all under a 4.5.
Wow.
And then some dude comments don't forget about Speedy White Lightning Magdalena.
Let's go.
Running a 4.36 on this
Yes,
pro
sir.
day. Excited to see kind of where he kind of shifts into that offense.
Yeah.
The Chiefs love a deep bomb threat.
Yeah.
And I think Magdalena with a runway can just get after it and just burn by some of these corners. And I'm excited to kind of see him go put the Delana name on the map, like it's not already on the map, but on a bigger stage and a bigger atmosphere. And again, I think in the last 5 years, what are they? 3-time Super Bowl champions, 2-time Super Bowl champions?
Hey, that sounds good to me.
That's a proven winner to me, if you ask that. I'll take that horse every day.
Yes, sir.
But Comstock, I'd be remiss. You seem like one of those sickos that has probably been seeing all this stuff blow up on Instagram and X about one Silverback Gorilla versus a hundo dudes. You seem like you're the 1+99 that is sitting there hey, I might be able to get around that Silverback's neck, put him in a sleeper hold, let my boys go to work. I'm going to tell you, it ain't like that. It ain't
Hey,
that's a grown-ass gorilla.
Hold up. He better not get caught lacking. All right.
Comstock's that dude. Hey, you see me over there fighting
sneak
that
his ass.
gorilla, you better go help that gorilla.
Yeah. Call an ambulance, but not for me.
No, so, I have been looking at all those memes. This has been transport me back to me and Deshaun Potts sitting on our college couch. He's grinding Call of Duty. I'm helping him on the shitty skins, rocket launchers and snipers. But we're just sending back and forth memes to each other. And that kind of took me back. This last couple of days with everybody just blowing up talking about this. My favorite one, though, is you're the 15th dude. And you're standing there and watch the 9th dude get ripped in half. And you're like, am I really about that smoke? Am I really about that smoke?
So here's my take, right? Revolutionary War. People used to there'd be cannons, muskets, and they're standing in a line, walking, and
Dudes did get their legs blown off by lead cannonballs, yes.
boom, right? And you're talking about dude getting ripped in half. Dude gets decapitated by a cannonball, and you're just like, keep walking, boom.
I'm gonna tell you,
But now,
we ain't in that lifetime. We ain't about that smoke.
okay, but I'm just setting the stage, right? You're in a gorilla
Enclosure. Let's give it some. We drove in today. There's about a 100 by 100 fence out there.
Yeah.
You guys are in that.
Yeah.
There's you plus 99 and like a 10-year-old silverback gorilla.
Okay, so
he's
here's
had to fight off a couple other silverback gorillas. Like his teeth are sharp. He's pissed. He's also like, why the fuck am I out here in this pen with 100 dudes? Like he's pissed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're about that.
I think my take on this is if you're locked in there and it's life or death, you're not worried about the 15th guy that got killed because you know the silverback can kill all 100 of you. So people are going to start finding a way to at least put some damage on that thing.
You have to. Like
there's going to be damage on that thing. I'm taking a hundo. I'm taking a hundo of us. At some point, we're going to find a way, whether it's tiring it out. Maybe we just run away from it for 20 minutes, and he's starting to get tired.
So you're just going to piss him off.
Piss him off.
You're going to get him real feisty, just real
throw
pissed
some
off.
dirt in his eyes.
Okay,
I don't know.
That's a hot
Find
take.
a way.
You're going to get close enough to throw some dirt in this gorilla's eyes.
No, we're going to, like a snowball, we're going to pee on some dirt and then make a snowball out of it and huck it at its face.
Okay.
And we're just going to, run away. I mean, probably like 15 dudes right there are going to get gone.
Real
They're
primal.
off.
Hey,
but
I don't have to be faster than everyone. I just got to be faster than you.
Yep.
Like straight up. Like don't get caught.
So, I don't know. Somehow we survived. Do we get any tools?
No, this is straight up.
See,
bare knuckle brawl.
Okay, so one of the things
y'all are out there in your skibbies too. Like we're out there trying to even the playing ground as much as we can.
We're out there in that field. I'm breaking a part of the fence.
Okay.
Finding a way to use it as a tool. Like I said, I already used dirt as a tool. That's critical thinking. That's what that thing doesn't have.
A pressure under pressure, right? That's what happens. You start thinking about. You look around your surroundings. You start using them. I like it, Comstock. I like where your head's at.
Don't give us a bunch of Coors Lights. We're gonna find a way to kill that fucking thing.
Fuck that. I'm gonna get that boy drunk. He's gonna be one of us by the end of the night. It's gonna be 101 versus nothing. But nah, man, it's that thing's just been flying around. I think the hot takes on it are dudes really be thinking that like it would be sweet. Like you're standing at like you'd have to have a plan, bro. Like there's no like we're just lining up and like one by one running in there. Like I'm looking at that group and going, look, there's 100 of us. That's 10 groups of 10. Like, all right, you 10, you're coming up with some idea of outside of it that like we can use later down the road. Now we got 90, right? Like now, okay, you 2 groups, you're on his legs. I'm sorry. Like you got to find a way to get those legs trapped and get, but like,
you're starting to sound like Endgame when they come up with the plan of how to
find a way to kill Thanos. Right? But I'm still trying to figure out, like, with your bare hands, how you actually kill this gorilla. Like, they're so fucking strong. They're tough. Their skins are
dude. You can hit it upside the head with a rock, and it's not gonna. It's gonna be like, okay,
you better be fucking Randy Johnson hitting that bird, or like if you're gonna throw a rock at this dude, like that'd be like shooting a boar with a 22. It just kind of look at you like, what the fuck did you do that for? Why did you do that? Now I have to fuck you up. Now I'm pissed.
No, that's good stuff.
Foaming at the mouth, really. But what are we going to get into today, Comstock? Obviously we got a lot of things rolling.
I think talking about the draft, stuff like that. I had to leave early.
Okay.
From the Delana party, but there was a moment right before I left that I saw Matt get a call, and I was like, "Ooh, is this it?" So I started recording, and then it was like, "Nope," like that. It was just a phone call. Okay, whatever. Let's talk about Shedeur.
Hey,
real quick, just quick.
Hey, little number getting leaked. Guy thinking he's being slick. Like, hey, I got this burner.
When I first
32 teams, and then that thing gets out.
When I first heard it, and I heard it was somebody's son, I'm like, oh, dude, it was like an 8-year-old kid.
He was 21.
I thought it was an 8-year-old kid that was 21. Like, oh, I'm gonna ha ha ha. No, it was a grown man.
Dog was going for. He literally was looking at his boys. He's looking at his boys like, hey, we're about to go viral. Like, we're about to, they're not going to know it's us. Like, there's no one else that would even know that it could be us. Oh. He's sitting in his room with his boys like, hey, couple beers deep. Should I send it? Send it? It's like sending that. It's like being broken up with a girl for a long time. You get hammered and you're like, hey, should I shoot it? Should I slide? But like, there's that dude, dad loses his job.
How much?
He's got to, right? Like,
I don't know. It's not the dad's fault that his grown son was stupid.
I agree with this, but think about how high stakes and how high security everything is in the NFL. How loose, how tight lips are.
Yeah.
Right? And all of a sudden, like, man's just had bad Apple security and didn't click one button to lock that screen. Like, but it's just sitting there. You got numbers hanging out everywhere.
How bad do you think the dad ripped the son? Because you know that he's good at ripping his players.
Dog, I think that's like a whole family sit down. I think that's like a
it's not even he's not even yelling. He's just calmly talking.
It's still age old thing of like, I'm not mad.
I'm disappointed.
I'm just disappointed. Like, fuck, rip me. Tell me I'm a bad son. Say something to me right now. Don't look me with those eyes. And he's just like, brother, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was stupid.
Like, hey, you're an idiot for that.
At the same time, going back to the Cooper DeJean one. Right?
Yeah.
That one, when I watched the video, it's like, that was a big event that he was at.
He looked like he obviously got drafted from Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where he's born and raised, but it definitely looked like they was out on a farm in a giant-ass warehouse, over 100 people there.
Yeah.
And
you can hear everybody, they're like, oh, she's on the phone. And then he goes, just a prank call. And I think he handled it pretty well. And then he goes, that was fucked up. And you can kind of see in his eyes, like, if it was me that happened to and I was in that moment, there's no in between. It's either I'm laughing really hard and I'm like, you got my ass and it's funny, or I'm pissed.
No,
I couldn't just be like, whatever, brush it off. It's either I'm laughing or I'm like, fuck you.
No, I'm seeing red.
Yeah.
And I do think it's a little different because like Cooper's didn't really get blown up. Like it was kind of brushed off, shrugged off. And obviously coming out of college, he was a great player and a great prospect. And obviously that dude's a Super Bowl champion now. But like dog. Okay. But why the indifference? Like when it happened to Shedeur, I think there was just so much media, so much going on. Like now there's an internal investigation. Now it's all blown up. So it's like it's interesting to kind of look at the two scenarios.
I think
how it's handled.
I think a big part of it is just like since Shedeur was like I'm going in the first round, top 5, and slid. I think that's why there's so much. And obviously he had one phone.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes from. Just the overall hype.
And I think it gets to that point where like what we're talking about, right? The hype, the media frenzy that was kind of happening. It was like blood in the water for some sharks. I think that young son was like, hey, you want to see him pick his phone up on TV right now? Like he ain't really been getting calls. Like, hey, watch this.
Hey, let's look at his stream. Let's look at his stream.
Hey, which was the nuttiest thing of all week that I thought. Like I'm sitting there. I know the draft's passed, right? It's obviously a very, very exciting moment, but like it's almost a week ago now from day one. And they just kept panning to his set. That's just legendary, Shedeur Sanders. And I'm like, that's got to be tough. Like, I get you. Like, we know we're hopeful that we get to that point. I'm sure there's been some things that have led you to believe that's going to happen. But, like, not even being in there, like, just chilling is, like, even more adds fuel to the kind of story of who he is and what he's going to kind of set himself up to go be as a Cleveland Brown of, like, I'm always under the microscope. I'm always being looked at. Like every little instance of everything that I do, whether I think I'm doing it right or wrong, is now under a microscope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
Talking about the Browns, like getting into that, we could kind of talk about like some of the grades that we think.
Yeah, dude, like looking at like let's just go right with the Browns. Like 2 rookie quarterbacks and 2 rookie running backs. 4 of your 7 draft picks from this year are offensive production. But like you already picked up Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett in the offseason to add to that QB room.
Yeah.
Which I kind of, like, as we were sitting here thinking through that and we kind of figured that out, I was like, I don't mind that. Like, I like the veteran presence that we have within that quarterback room. But, like, how do you handle having 2 rookie quarterbacks?
It's going to be a very uncomfortable room for sure. When I got recruited out of high school to go to college, I came in with 2 other quarterbacks. There was 3 of us, and it was uncomfortable. Uncomfortable.
But like, both of those dudes are having to like now figure out like one of them is not going to make it.
Yeah.
Because like maybe they cut Kenny Pickett. I don't think they cut Joe. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I think Joe is truly like, hey, if we want these 2 dudes to learn, like they should be learning from a guy who's done it.
Yeah.
And been in it and still wants to be in it. Still understands the mindset it takes. But like, I feel like one of those quarterbacks ends up getting booted at some point. And now you're really in a fight of like, what does this come down to?
And you know what? I always think that the best thing that a team can have is competition.
Yeah.
Within
Iron
itself.
sharpens iron, baby.
Yeah, and that's only going to bring the best out of all of them or the worst out of it, and you see that's not who we want,
Correct.
and you get them out of there as soon as possible.
Correct.
So I don't hate the choice. I just don't understand it with you could have got so much more and so many different things. If that's their thought process is like, let's see who the best is, throw them all into the fire and just kind of see what comes out of this mold.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a terrible vision.
I don't think they have a ton. I honestly, if you look at what the quarterback carousel at the Cleveland Browns has looked like over the last, 10, 15 years, but most recently, like, it's not a bad idea.
No.
Hey, let's get them as much talent as we can in this room and see what comes out.
See
on the
who
other end of
wins.
it. Yeah, like, and if whoever wins this quarterback battle between those 4 that are on roster, we might be looking at a dude that can sling the pill around and win us some football games. And with what the Browns have done over the last however long you want to look back, like that might be sound a little crazy, but it could work out for them.
But and when you're in the position like the Browns, like you have to do something out of the box. You can't keep doing what you're doing.
You want to win games. Like in the National Football League, like it's hard to come across wins, but like you still, every team, whether you're at the bottom of the draft because you had the or bottom of the draft because you had the best season, or top of the draft because you had the worst, every single one of those organizations is fighting tooth and nail to win football games.
Right.
So they're trying to find, like, if this is just another watch, we might be sitting here with our thumb up our ass in a couple months going like, well, shit, their quarterback 1 and quarterback 2 are 2 rookies that have just learned from those 2 guys, grinded it out, and ended up being really good football players moving forward for the Cleveland Browns. So moving on, I want to talk about, I think, one of the better drafts of this year, and from a team perspective, and being second or third year in the league, finally getting to create, is the New York Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they've had their troubles as well, but like, you go edge rusher, first pick out the gate. You go Jackson Dart.
Who, by the way, that was my favorite pick.
That was a lot of our favorite
Jewel
picks.
Carter
Like,
is a dog.
monster.
When you see a guy that's a D lineman that can take over a game, or he's like just completely standing out, that's when you know you have something special on your hands.
Absolutely.
So I love that pick, and continue.
Getting into Jackson Dart. Okay. Then they picked up a big old run-stopping defensive tackle from Akron, I believe, or Toledo. And then they went on and picked who was number 4 in the 4th round pick? One of our favorites, one of my favorites from the college football playoff, Bo Scatabo.
Yes, Cam.
Cam
All good.
Scatabo.
Yes.
We're out here just jumbling. I'm looking at words on a wall, and somehow I just messed up both syllables on the front end and the back end. But don't worry about that, okay? It's called adversity. We're gonna keep fighting through it. My guy gets me a little flustered. Have you seen the way he runs the rock as an offensive lineman? I get a little fired up.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you a backstory. We played Arizona State in 2023.
Yep.
Beat them 29-0. And it was crazy.
Because the Dogs' defense was.
Come on now. And I got to tackle him a few times.
Okay.
And I was, honestly, there was a lot of hype around him that year too. And I was like, I just don't see it. You know, like we beat them 29-0. He only had 5 carries, so I don't know. Maybe it was just they weren't playing him. And maybe he was injured. I don't know. I don't know what the story is. But what he did the following season was just something spectacular.
Well, like, it really has me thinking how we were looking all year long, looking at who's our best running back, right?
Yeah.
You had Genty, you had Cam. Okay. You're looking at them, and then all of a sudden they get to draft day. Genty goes first overall in the 6th.
Yeah.
And then really a couple other running backs get picked in there.
Yeah.
Some guys from Ohio State, 2 running backs that were kind of stalwarts in what they did in this season. But like Cam Scatabo was the next best running back, in my opinion, from an everyday down back
I
kind of guy.
think my thing is you can see his like determination in his
the tenacity, bro.
It's like you
it's
can
in
see his
eyes.
personality. He truly, and I think he truly believed he should have won the Heisman.
There was an argument there that I do believe that if they end up pulling off that overtime win against Texas and they find themselves in that next round, and he goes on and continues to elevate his game as he did game in and game out every week this year, I think that that argument gets stronger.
Yeah.
But again, like, I'm a bit biased. obviously Gentie's running the rock. His yards after carry and his actual yardage were like top 2 in the league in the conference like all year long. But like I just like the way that Cam was running the ball.
Yeah,
like he's a downhill runner between the tackles, but he's got enough balance and athletic ability that like maybe not breakaway speed, but he'll wear a team down to where his speed starts to become breakaway.
Well, I'll tell you this. I wasn't convinced just because I had played against him, and I was like, I wasn't convinced until that Texas game. Then I was like, okay.
He kind of took over.
I was like, all right. Like he won me over as a fan of him, just seeing like he did not care what second it was, how much they were down, whatever it was. He was like, put the team on my back.
He was a true culture guy for them.
Yeah.
Right. Which everything that Kenny Dillingham's preaching at ASU is we got to ignite the valley. We got to bring people in. We need to put butts in seats. People need to see the product that we're playing with. And then you got a running back like him who's literally putting the team on his back, like strap the JanSport up and hop in.
Yeah.
Right. Like, let's see where we can go with this. And I look at that Texas game as a true epitome of like, yeah, they didn't come out on the other end of that, that's the beauty of sports. But man, he put a performance on. Man, he showed like I can take a game over if you put the ball in my hands.
And he left it all out there. That's what I like to see.
That's all I give a fuck about.
The other thing that I wanted to say, just while we're on the topic, how about the Raiders though? They picked the best tight end in the draft last year. Now the best running back this year. Are they moving in the right direction? They have Pete Carroll, who
I like Pete Carroll,
and
I'm
Pete Carroll
a fan of Pete Carroll.
He had beast mode back in the day. Now does he have another great running back that can transform? I mean, obviously not beast mode, but can he transform into something like that?
Somebody's got to follow in those footsteps.
Right? Can he be the next guy that kind of goes down a path similar to that? That would be amazing.
You don't think that Pete was in that hard room, like in that draft, in that war room, licking his chops, looking at all those people like, if you don't draft him at 6, we're going to have problems.
Yeah.
Because if you really look at it, and definitely in the NFL, obviously we've got to the glitz and glam of like, we're throwing the ball downfield, we're scoring a lot of touchdowns. The league itself likes that because it's an exciting brand of football. It brings viewership, it brings people in. But like, when you look at what good teams do, they always have a top defense, but they can run the pill. They can take pressure off their quarterback. They can take pressure off their offensive line. Yep. Really having a good, productive, first, second down run game alleviates pressure from really everyone on the offensive side of the ball because it starts like, dude, if you told me I had to line up and the stakes were high and I was behind chains every single time and I had to like throw the pill 50 times a game, that's a long day at the freaking workbench. Like that's a long day.
I'm just curious to see how his pass blocking is going to be in the league. I don't know. I didn't really get to see much of it.
Was
it good?
I broke down some Scattaboo film. All right. I watched a lot. Obviously, they were my front runners in the college football pickings back when we did our Bring the Juice tailgate show picks.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about the Arizona State offense. And like, I really do think that the Giants just picked themselves up an everyday down back.
Yeah.
Who, yes, he can run the pill in between the tackles, but he's savvy enough and smart enough and understands the game that like, think about his big body in as an extra protector as your 6th or your 7th man, or even as a 5-man protection. He's in the backfield. He chips on. We're playing the Raiders, and Max Crosby's eating our lunch, and we need to start sending a chip to him on the edge. Like now, I got a 225-pound back running out of the backfield, putting a chip on, and then still in a viable option in the wide receiver game. Like I'm excited to kind of see where the Giants go with this draft class and where they grow. But I will say, outside of them, one of the others that really excited me, and as a former Pittsburgh Steelers fan and kind of inching back to becoming a Steelers fan, I love me some Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
I love Will Howard at the 6th pick for the Steelers.
So watching the whole season last year, I wasn't convinced with him, and he's another guy that I feel like grew a lot in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like it was like
the lights got bright and he actually stepped up to the plate.
Yeah. Cause the first time they played Oregon, it was like overthrow. And it's like the second time everything was on the money.
No,
and he just kept going. I thought, he really grew as the season went on, which is what you want to see going into the NFL, right? Peaking at the right time.
Yep. It's all about playing ball at the right times. Right. And I think with him, he's going to have, there's not going to be this giant pressure, right? Think about if they go select him in the first round, they select him in the second round, and they're like, he's our guy. He's coming in to save the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. There's a huge spotlight, and there's this huge kind of void that needs to be filled by him to be take the Steelers back to what they were, or at least start to get on the path of what they were back when they were winning Super Bowls. And picking him at 6 gives him a little bit of a break of being like, okay, look,
expectations.
The expectation is high. I think in the NFL, the expectation is high no matter what. But it doesn't put it in this big media glitz and glam of like, shit, he needs to be great now.
Well, it just makes me think of like Caleb Williams when he was first overall. It's like they were like, has to be the savior.
Yeah. And like
at least at 6.
Talked about that. Like you literally are like, please come and work your magic and do what you need to do to make us great again. And I think being in where you are that late, past that John over here, being that little bit of late in there makes it a little bit different. I think it opens up the door for him to kind of have a little bit of more confidence in the fact that he's not going to have the media. I mean, he's going to have the media up his ass either way, but it's not going to be this expectation that you got picked in the first round and now you have to perform at a first round level instantaneously.
Right.
And I think that kind of helps out with moving these guys forward, and obviously the pathway of development, right? Like we talk about a lot of these teams in the NFL go and draft a young quarterback, and then he doesn't really ever get a chance to develop. He's kind of thrown in the fire.
Yeah.
Like let's talk about the Tennessee Titans. Like we know for a fact we like our boy Will Levis. Okay. He can play, he can sling, but like he just got a fire put under his ass.
Yep.
They just drafted a number 1 overall quarterback, and now we get to kind of see what's their plan, what's their approach.
I just think that at the end of the day, you have to perform.
It's a bit spicy.
You have to perform in the NFL, and
Make sure it's not spicy. Mine's a little spicy.
Is it? Let's do a little finger twirl.
You know what we say to that? You know what we say to that? Good. That's the blue collar spoon right there. That's the official lunch pail slogan is the blue collar spoon.
Yeah. Sometimes I just
a little.
Sometimes when I'm like at home alone and I make lunch, I'll just eat with my hands instead of using a.
Oh, you mean so you don't have to do extra dishes?
Yeah, I'll just eat.
You're
with my
talking
hands.
to the king of. Hey, that counter looks pretty clean. I just cleaned it. Who needs a plate? I'm laying my sandwich out right there. I'm gonna get me.
Oh shit, mine might be pasta. I don't eat with my hands. Come on now.
That's out of pocket.
Nah.
No, this man's eating spaghetti with his bare hands, just
And
like Elf.
Don't forget the meatballs. Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Come on now.
We're in the Atlanta household. It's Italian household. You know, they make good meatballs here. Kami,
Let's get into the Derby.
dude, don't you just love watching purebred horses run around a track in a circle?
Just a stallion.
Just the millions of, some of those horses, Comstock, live a better life than me and you live.
Most.
No, sorry. I redact that statement from the ledger. All of those horses live a better life than you and I do.
Oh, yeah.
They're out in the sun. They get their buckets of feed. They get combed down, brushed. All of a sudden, they're like, hey, his hoof's hurting a little bit. Let's go get him in the aquatic chamber. Let's go get him in the take a little gravity off him. Like these people spend millions of dollars on the upkeep of these horses.
And the craziest thing is
sometimes the ROI is there.
Sometimes the horse is a bust and they just dropped a pretty bag and the horse is like, thank you very much.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
good one.
No, appreciate it. Or you got that one that just goes on and ends up being the sire of your herd for the next 100 years.
Yes.
And you end up being a Triple Crown winner or a Kentucky Derby winner. But I want to get into talking a little bit about, my favorite part about it is betting on some horses.
Yes.
And obviously I'm a little, same way that I pick in my NCAA tournament, same way I'm looking at basketball, same way I'm really looking at any NFL player picture or pick'ems type. I'm just going blind draw. But what I love about the Kentucky Derby is all these horses' names.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some absolute winners this year, which I'm going right off the rip and picking my horse.
Yeah.
30-1 odds. Flying Mohawk. And if they do not have his mane spiked up in a mohawk so I can see that thing just majestically flying in the air as he's turning the corner to go win the race,
Yeah.
I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. I want to feel the adrenaline in my veins. Like, that's my guys, Mohawks flying.
Did you play? When you played, like, did you have a mohawk ever?
No.
No.
I had the long hair down in the middle of my back.
Okay.
I had the greasy flow.
I thought maybe you were like tapping into your former self, and you're like, I see him in me.
Yo, I mean,
No homo.
he's there. All right. That beast, he still lives within inside of us, but like he's got to be buried deep in there, right? Like,
Oh, you're making it way worse, brother.
that's because I'm a no pause kind of guy. All right, we just keep flowing with it. But the Kentucky Derby, just the sight and scene and the spectacle of it is.
Wait, I want my pick.
Yes, please.
I'm doing the same thing you're doing, purely off the name. I'm going chunk of gold, 30-1. Show me the money. Show me the money.
I like that there's just two humble guys on this couch having a chat about some horse racing that we don't know fucking a lick about.
Jack shit.
Taking 30-1 odd horses. We got a bunch of horse racers that are going to listen to this, like, these guys are idiots.
Oh my gosh, terrible take.
I'm going to go put a G on him, all right, and just see where, hey,
fuck it.
Why not?
We ball.
Hey, I'm going to chop wood. I'm going to carry water. There's going to be another horse race. I'm going to have a chance to go get that money back. All right, like, it's like that meme. I'm watching horse races on a Tuesday night in the bar when it's happening overseas. Like, I got to get mine back. Like, all of a sudden I'm down a deep rabbit hole. You might have to pull me out, Steve, but I'm going to get mine.
I got your back.
I'm going to get mine. But
dude, I didn't know. So one thing I didn't know is that there's 14 races during the day.
Yes.
I always thought it was just one race.
No, there's a whole bunch of lead up. So like I was blessed enough and lucky enough. I grew up down in Oceanside, but not too far from us is Del Mar Racetrack.
Right.
So which is another, beautiful stop on the circuit, I guess. I don't actually know the true circuit.
Is Santa Anita on that scale?
I don't know where Santa Anita is.
Okay, then it's probably not. But that's where I grew up going to the horse races.
Okay. No, the Del Mar Racetrack definitely, brings in a very eclectic crowd. A very bougie crowd, obviously being down there in Del Mar, real close to Point Loma and La Jolla. And, I actually had a buddy a professional baseball player, right out of high school, got drafted #1 overall, bought a house and bought this bitchin' condo that oversaw like the Del Mar Fairgrounds where the horse races were. And he would be out of town during that time for season and stuff. And he would rent his place out to like these owners of these horses. To the point where it was so lucrative that he was like, bro, I'm just finna stay out of this, John, during that season because I can get triple what I made for it or what I paid for it in terms of getting it back during horse race season. So it's always been cool to kind of be around that. But
yeah,
I think about the whiskey and the Aperol Spritz and the fucking whatever anyone's drinking, the White Claws. Think about how many of those are getting tossed down on the weekend of the Kentucky Derby.
There was something on the TV and it had to do with, I don't know if it was a documentary or something, but one of the guys owned a horse or something like that and the horse couldn't race, but he was still there. This dude looked like he should have been on a yacht in Miami, but he's actually running cocaine for the cartel because he's bald with shades.
Horse money's
down
different.
Shirt with it open. I'm like, what is going on?
Couple chains on.
Yeah.
The horse, I really do believe that it's a bougier market. It's a bougier game. Like to even be in horse racing or around horses like that, you can't hide money.
Nope.
Like that is money that none of us really even can people can fathom it. But like from a sports spectacle, it probably is one of the most lucrative businesses within sports because of the barrier cost to get into it.
Right. And it's not like there's 32 teams with a 53-man roster and everybody's dipping in it.
No, correct.
It's just them.
I don't know. I think I can count it right now. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, how many horses there are? I think there's 21.
20.
20?
So there's 20 horses that are entered into like we were talking about how many races are. Like there'll be 20 horses in the final race on Saturday.
Is insane. That's a lot of freaking horses.
That field is massive. Obviously, it'll be a little bit of a longer race, but you're talking about like not knowing how many races are on like on a game day or like for them, it's a game day, right? For these horses.
Right.
Because as you get to understand them, one of my favorite movies is Secretariat.
Yep.
That really does do a good little piece of understanding the horses and like they are competitors. Like they know what the fuck's going on. Like they put those blinders on, to keep shit out of their eyes, but also because they're like, I'm focused on the mission.
Yeah.
And the mission is to win this race.
They know what's going on.
Oh, hell
Just like we were talking about Cam Scatabo, Scadaboo.
He's got that look in his eye.
He's like, I'm running downhill. These horses are like, I'm running to the finish line.
No.
I'm taking it all.
No, absolutely. But it'll be interesting. I do love the lead up to it, right? It's a long day at the racetrack. You get to have a lot of fun. You get to see they go like age based, right? So like there'll be a couple races for 1-year-olds and then 1.5-year-olds, 2-year-olds, and I don't know what the age. There's also an age requirement.
3
to get to run longer races because for their heart and all those things. So it's very interesting.
And I want to say there's a name for it. The race, I forget what it's called. Somebody's got to look that up. The name of the race that is the Kentucky Derby. It's
always going to come down with the length.
Yeah,
it'll be like 15 furlongs or something like that. It depends on how long.
They have like you know how the Super Bowl is the big game.
Oh yeah.
They have a name for Run for the Roses. That's right. And they I guess the winner gets this bouquet of like 100+ flowers that's woven together the night before, hand woven. I mean, talk about tradition and like just like craftsmanship.
That's my favorite part about most of this stuff is like we've obviously had some episodes and we've had some fun talking about sports and everything that comes behind it, but like truly the best sporting events have that tradition behind them. They have the Masters. They have that dinner. They have the green jacket. They have the now that when you're in this elite membership with 132 other guys, right? Like you get the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Super Bowl. Like there's only so many of those champions. Like there's only so many horses that win the Run for the Roses.
Yeah.
And get that, honor of getting that hand-woven trophy, the giant bouquet of flowers. The horses are all getting their photo. Like it's a really cool to kind of see and understand the difference between all of the different sporting things and where that tradition comes from.
Yeah,
because I think horse racing is one of the oldest sports in our country.
Yeah,
so it's been going on for a long time. So just the tradition in that is so
well,
cool.
And that's what I mean. Derby days. There's parties all across the United States. Mm-hmm. I'm going to one this weekend,
dude.
So it's like.
I was eating at a local restaurant, and like literally for the past month, they've had a special menu.
Yep.
For the Kentucky Derby.
The Point.
Yeah.
Like
they've had all the different special drinks and everything. So and obviously that touches a point. Being here in Clovis, it's being an ag town, Fresno. It's obviously we're the Central Valley. We have ag, but we have our own little racetrack here. So
yeah.
But it really comes to show you like how big of a spectacle that has become. And I would love to be able to one day kind of experience like the atmosphere that's there, the fits that come with it, the big hats, crazy. Like pulling up in a limo, just absolutely shit-faced on Henny and Sevens. Like I'm about to go blow 2 G's on these horses that I don't know shit about,
right?
But like don't give a fuck because like I'm in the atmosphere. I'm in the kind of that onset of that feeling, that dopamine rush that people look for in a lot of these things. But like I'm in that now, right? And I think that fills the cup for a lot of people, but I think it's going to be a fun weekend to watch those horses run in a circle.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the same thing for NASCAR. Hey, we're just watching people go in circle 500 times, around and around and around, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But
dude, fill me in on your love for big hits.
Ooh.
Because we've already talked, and you just sent me another.
Oh,
you just sent me
another
clip.
That clip I sent you.
Oh.
Diabolical.
Dudes are getting ran over.
They did. They were out in a little small town in New Zealand, and they put like a little compilation of all the big hits from the weekend from all the different age groups because they also have age groups for it. You could be like 12 running.
What is it called again?
It's just called Run It Straight. It's called Run It Straight Challenge. And the one that I just recently sent, I actually sent it to like a bunch of boys in a group chat. It was the first one that I got back that they were like, "Nah, that's fucked up, dude. Like, no, that's crazy."
They were bad.
They had some dude literally. Again, flying sternum, like flying shoulder right into the sternum, and the dude buckled and like knocked himself out.
Yeah.
And they like all like, woo, rolled them off, and they were like, run it back. Like the culture of it is just, obviously I played the game, right? Like that's a different variation of it, but like it really is that simple. Like,
well, that's like in college football, you can have a guy at practice tear his ACL. And
we'll just move practice.
And they'll just go, all right, move it 10 yards up.
In the most ruthless programs I've ever been in.
And they'll cart them off. And that's from colleges across the board. I've heard those
just where we're at.
I've heard those stories everywhere. That's the same thing. Run it straight. Dude gets knocked out, rolling to the side. Run it back.
On next. Like, I've been a part of that. Like, watch a dude, he gets blown up. Coach obviously goes over. He's like, like, you all right?
Yeah.
Trainers come out, and he's like, all right, 15 yards that way. And, like, you're like, whoa. But it conditions you to kind of be like, all right, hey, this shit does happen.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, like, what happens in a game when a guy, my left guard, blows his ACL? I can't be sulking in that. Like,
Right.
There's 15 more plays coming or 100 more plays coming.
When a gorilla rips your buddy in half, you just got to keep pushing.
You got to keep on pushing. He just ripped his arms off. I don't give a
shit.
What dog? Back on that, one of my favorites is like the 15th dude watching the 16th dude use the 17th dude as a weapon. Like, but
Okay, so going
talk
back
about those big hits. So we all know we played a contact sport. We played, playing football. Myself playing rugby, you're a wrestler. You get that there's moments and instances in games where, like, oh man, I'm about to go eat this dude's lunch. Like, I'm about to blow this dude up, and the entire sideline's about to get cracked. The atmosphere is about to level up.
Oh yeah,
right. And like, it can either happen to you, and you can be on the other end of that, and you get your fucking shit rocked and go, hoo-hoo, we're here today.
Ouchie
I need to
boo.
wake the fuck up and lock the fuck in, or you can be doing that.
Right.
Right. I'd always have a coach saying, knee benders are job breakers. Okay. Be a knee bender. Don't be a waist bender. Watching a little hockey over the weekend. Okay. We love our guy, Alex Ovechkin, his team, the Washington Capitals. They were up 2-1 in the series. The game's kind of lull.
dude. And just to give, I've been watching that series just because it happens to be on TV when I'm doing nothing. There's no reason that the Canadians shouldn't be in the game.
No, for sure.
Like, they're playing their
it's a tight
butts off.
match. It's a tight matchup,
And they're just not, the puck's just not falling in the net for them.
which is tough, right? Like, I mean, that's the game.
And they've had momentum. They've had momentum the whole time.
And I think with this moment that we're about to talk about, this giant hit, I think that they were gaining some momentum.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was, hey, the Washington, they're up 2-1 in the series. The game's going a little slow. They could miss on this game, and then all of a sudden it's tied 2-2, and we got ourselves a fucking series, right?
And it's oh no.
And all of a sudden, my boy comes from across the blue line, Tim Brown, and deletes this dude. I mean, deletes him. He is no longer in his skates. His fucking soul is upside in the rafters. There's just skates and a puck and a little. It's just flying. Like,
I just want to.
dude, literally after he got hit with, like, the announcer's like, he's trying to figure out where he's at. Like,
He's trying to
get
find a
off
way
the
to
ice.
get to the bench.
He got absolutely smoked.
And
which,
you know what's his name? Matt Brown.
I think it was Tim Brown or Matt Brown. Tim Brown.
Tim Brown.
Yes.
When he hit that guy, it was the most clean feeling thing ever because it was.
Didn't even hurt him.
Bow.
You've been there. I've hit guys like that. You've hit guys like that. You don't even really feel that. Like, it felt like a hot knife through butter. Just whoosh.
But what he did feel is when his boys 5 to 10 seconds later, whoop whoop, dangle, top shelf, let's go.
Little long toss down.
Yep.
Little scuffle down by the goalie.
And it just falls right in between their feet, and it just so happens, like I said, they've been getting the bounces, and that, I mean,
But think about what that did. Like, that entire arena, that bench, just erupts and gets an injection of energy, and that's going to carry them for the rest. That could carry them for the rest of the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, they will go back and think about how many times that's on your fucking highlight video.
Yes.
Your pregame speech. I don't,
yeah.
I'm sure in every sport we always got a pregame. That clip is number one.
Friday nights before
that
games
clip is number one every time. We want to get the balls to tingle a little bit. We want them to be thinking about, holy shit, like, somebody's gonna go get it, and it needs to be you.
Yeah.
And I think about that in a lot of things. I think about in the sports that we play. Like, how many times you got your team, your little small action, which was burying a guy or coming down and laying wood or being the L5 on kickoff and going down and just getting active. The small little interjection that puts you over the hump.
And the teams that have culture, and this is the biggest part, the teams that have culture rally behind that, and it's just full steam ahead.
Now, but like, especially in the Stanley Cup playoffs where shit is streaky, all of a sudden that hit is now the thing that gets them to win a Stanley Cup because they just feed off that energy that kind of keeps them.
Well, and the crazy thing to me is hockey's such a game. It's a game that takes so much skill and finesse, right? To be able to skate like they do, to be able to handle the puck they do, to be able to shoot the way that they do.
Yeah.
But it's, I think, one of the few sports that has that much finesse in it, that has so much savageness in it. They all want to fight. I mean, any game that I turn on, if there's a play that stops in front of the net, they're throwing blows. It does not matter.
We're getting pissy. Like they're, and I think that's what it shows within the Stanley Cup playoffs is like you really, especially in a team sport like hockey, like rugby, right, where a smaller team they get into this where there's 30 guys in a locker room, there's 25 guys in a locker room, like. That is a different culture vibe than 100 guys in a locker room.
Right.
So you really can rally around your boys and really get into these little small actions are what is helping us chop wood, carry water to fucking win this.
Yeah.
Okay. And we need to continue to stack those on top of each other because now that's the fucking standard. Him coming across the fucking ice, running across the blue line, absolutely smoking that dude. 10 seconds later, we score a goal. Hey, your law of the price tag just got set to that.
Yeah.
When we get into we watch post-game film, we get into the next game, it's 2 days later. That first pregame speech, I'm asking.
Yep.
Hey, who's Tim tonight?
Yep.
Who's Tim tonight?
Yep.
Who's going to get these fucking boys rowdy? Who's going to go light this arena up to where now the other team can't even fucking think straight and now they're afraid of getting their fucking dicks beat in because we're out here flying around.
And the best part is
fucking hair on fire.
The best part is every single guy is like me.
No,
me,
all of a sudden there's fucking 10 me's. And now, hey, look, it's always really good to have to pull the reins to get the horse to slow down, okay? It's real hard to be like, come on, baby, right? So
dude, on the flip,
there's an edge there that you kind of have to edge yourself into the, ooh, I want to kill somebody to like, I still need to stay on mission and make sure I win this game.
On that point, the Tampa Bay Lightning are playing the Florida Panthers, and they're kind of, Tampa Bay Lightning's kicking the crap out of them a little bit.
And remind me, one of the brothers was on those teams,
yes,
right?
so Matt Tkachuk.
Yes, the USA legend.
Yes, who they love to throw down. They're physical guys.
If I knew anything from what we watched over what was that, like in the spring, or we're in the spring now, but like the summer, whatever
it was the four nations tournament.
Yeah, Four Nations tournament. Yeah. We found out about the Chuck brothers that were just like, hey, this is literally the Mighty Ducks grown-up version of the Bash Bros.
Yes,
like
exactly.
They watched that shit growing up. Or like, this is us.
So I have this. I'm like watching this video here of him coming and leveling this guy.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
What just and it was. The problem is he's flirting with a very. I mean, there's a lot of people that are like, there should be a 15-game suspension for that hit because he clearly changed direction to go light this guy up, and. Like this might be a hot take, but I fucking love it. And let me just finish because I don't like to see guys going out of their way to try to hurt.
We like player safety.
Yes,
we are player safety.
I love flirting the line of like, I might do something that I'm not supposed to do.
I might step into the gray a little bit.
I need that. I still need them to know I'm right here.
Yes.
I'm right here,
and I'm with it.
Yeah, and I'm about this shit. Even if guess what? Yeah, I got to go to the box. And you guys just scored an empty net and the game's over, but hey, come see me next game.
No, it doesn't. It's almost, again, like that stamp on, like the stamp that he puts on his game in the league is like, yeah, I might be a little dirty. I might flirt with the edge of, you should fucking have your head on a swivel when I'm on the ice with you.
Exactly.
Because, yeah, he put his foot in the ground. He went and lasered that dude at the blue line.
Yes.
Okay. Was it a little high? It was.
But
is it playoff hockey? Absolutely.
And
so what are we talking about?
To be real honest, if that play, he's already a guy that's in every play.
Yes.
But if that play, the stick was on, or the puck was on his stick, and he hit him, clean hit.
Nobody says a word.
Nobody says a word.
It's the set and scene of where they were at within the game, empty net, all that.
And you know what? I do think also, if he really wanted to, he could have sent that guy to the hospital.
He probably did, Commie. That dude was seeing fucking Tweety Bird after that.
For sure, okay? But I think he didn't hit him as hard as he could, and I think it was just a message of like, "Hey, I'm here."
But I think that is the epitome of those brothers.
Yeah,
is they're gonna be in that game no matter what. I don't give a fuck if it's empty net or whatever. I have the opportunity to set another step in the right direction of imposing my will on somebody, right? I don't care where we were at in the game. He put his foot in the ground, melted that dude, okay? That dude's going to be thinking about that hit the next time he gets on the ice.
Oh, yeah.
And the next time after that.
Oh, yeah.
His teammates are now like, okay, where's the Tkachuk brother? Like, I need to, like, their game plan, I already know it. Their game plan for this week, that clip's been played. They sent it into the league office and, you know, hey, don't worry, brother. We send this league office. We're going to have the refs review it. We're going to appeal it. all bullshit. Because guess what? The puck's going to drop again in another day, and they're going to play another game.
Yep.
But every dude on that team now, on their game plan, is find the Tkachuk brother.
Yep.
Where's he at? Because he's going to come fucking get you.
He's going to hit you.
Now all those dudes are in their head, right? So
dude, it just,
I'm with you. I like where it's at.
Yeah.
And flirting with that line is what we do.
Flirt with the line. Do I want to see you Myles Garrett somebody? And like, no, I don't.
Do I want to watch somebody get a concussion and absolutely like potentially have CTE and like mess their life up for the rest of No. But I love player safety, but I also love that we play a contact game. I've said it the same thing when CTE became a big thing for football and really any contact sport is like every single guy that opts in and decides to do that knows what they're getting into when they sign the dotted line.
I think,
and you got to be ready for that.
Outside of that take, and this is going to kind of weave into something else, but like I do like the fighting aspect, like not talking about his hit, but like the fighting aspect of hockey. I really enjoy watching it, just the raw emotion and stuff.
Just blow some steam off in the middle of the game.
I also love when you're watching Mike Evans go and light somebody up because he was talking shit to Tom Brady. Like, I don't know, just those moments, like, I really enjoy like waiting for it to pop off.
And that's I think that's the culture guy in you.
Yeah.
Is looking at it as like, if I was in that predicament, I'm Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Or I'm the Tkachuk brother. Like, I know, like, I'm watching the game, I'm always trying to find people that, like, not tooting my own horn here, but like to attack the game in the way that I like to attack the game.
Yep.
Like watching the, you remember when the quarterback series came out on Netflix?
Yep.
And then they came out with the wide receivers version, but we got a little taste of the tight ends.
Yeah.
Watching George Kittle express his love for the game in the way that he expresses his love for his game, which is by burying people and playing hard and going out and making fanatical catches. But again, burying dudes, imposing his will on it. Like, I'm looking for guys like that. I'm looking for the Tkachuk brothers. They're like, I know that I might not be in the right here, but I'm going to fucking set the stat. We're going to walk in the locker room at the end of this game, and all the boys are not going to be thinking about the loss. They're going to be like, you melted that dude. You buried him, and you set us up for the next game.
Yeah.
Fucking wash that shit. That's Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, wash that shit because it's over. What are we going to do next to win this next game to continue on the path?
Exactly.
And I think that's what's fucking, like, that's what play, like, you want to get into big hits. You want to get into fucking playing the game. Like, that's playoff mentality.
Exactly.
That's that Mamba mentality. Like, I don't give a fuck. Next play is my best play. Next instance is going to be an instance that moves us forward. And fuck, dude, you got me fired. I'm about to go home and watch some fucking hockey. I'm on my way home. I'm pulling up YouTube. Yeah,
let's go.
The Chuck Brothers' biggest hits.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna throw some run it straight challenge on. And start sending you some more of those. Just watching dudes take 4 or 5 years off their life on a fucking Saturday afternoon in the park.
Anybody watching this that's saying that they don't watch, like guys that are like, oh no, I don't like seeing dudes get lit up. Like, dude, you've watched 2000 to 2005 biggest hits NFL. We keep talking about it, but it's like, I want to see that again.
I know. And obviously player safety and all those things. Again, huge fans of player safety. Do not get it wrong. But like, I do understand the game that we have signed up to play. And if you're willing and able and you are okay with doing that, then like, don't be fucking mistaken when somebody comes and fucking tries to take your head off.
Oh, yeah.
It's just part of the game.
It's happened to all of us.
As we're rolling, thinking a little bit more, I want to catch up a little bit of my game of the week this week for MLR, Major League Rugby, was obviously my alma mater, my club, my team that I played a lot of games for. San Diego Legion went up the road to the LA club, played for the Cali Cup. The game ended in a 38-36 win for the Legion. Legion ended up scoring a late try in the 75th minute that put them up 38. It was 38-30 at that time.
So they're getting extra points.
Oh, yeah. They're getting their bonus point, right? Obviously, they're trying to win the fucking game.
Right.
So winning gets you that bonus point. The try gets you that bonus point and all that. So they end up walking away with a good 5 points that game. But, talking a little bit about, obviously you don't have to understand rugby to understand rivalry. Like, that's one of those rivalries that's like, hey, we're San Diego, they're LA. You look at the Padres, you look at the Dodgers. Like, you used to look at the Chargers, and anybody that would walk into the fucking Qualcomm Stadium was an enemy at that point. But, like, us in San Diego State with the oil can and the Boise State with the milk can, like, playing for a trophy is outside of playing for a championship, right? Playing for some naming rights, playing for that trophy that you get to take home and keep for the year. It always adds a little spiciness to it. It always adds like, hey, I gotta up my level. I gotta go put a big hit on somebody.
There's always a chip on your shoulder for every player that's playing, and then the best part is it just elevates the gameplay.
Yep. And I think it goes back, right? It goes back to those game-changing moments. We just went on a tangent talking about game-changing hits. Like, I was watching that game, and they have Jed Holloway's a lock. He's a number 4 or 5 guy for our listeners that understand what a lock is. He's an older player. He's been running around the country, around the world playing, and they were setting up for a kick, and he noticed it and fucking charged it down, blocked it, caught it himself, and scored a try. Like, that's those things of, like, the Chuck brothers seeing, like, hey, they might score an empty jet. I'm going to put my foot on the ground, I'm going to bury this dude. Or Tim Brown coming burying somebody, scores a net. Like, those little instances are what are getting our game to be more attractive.
Right.
More people are looking at these players and going like, oh, that's an attractive game. I want to be a part of that. I want to be part of the excitement of these guys scoring tries and these guys physically dominating each other, putting their bodies on the line. I think it's just going to continue to help kind of grow our game in the way that we want it to go.
No, that's beautiful. I love that.
But comstock, we got through like 1 and some change Henny 7s just today. Probably
1 and some change.
1 and some change. They were crispy.
Like always.
Okay, our producer out here was like, I think y'all need to run it back. So I said, guess what? We running it back.
Let's go.
But that's another Tuesday. That's another day of just us showing up and chopping wood, carrying water.
Appreciate you, man.
And I'm always blessed to have you in my corner, and I'm ready to see what this thing turns into, baby.
Let's do it.
And remember, when you walk out of here, find the next chance to fucking lay nuts on somebody, because guess what? You don't get a lot of opportunities to do that. I might chop tackle you next time I see you just to feel something.
I'm gonna freaking cut you.
Bring it, baby. Let's get it.
Chop wood, carry water.